welcome to this premium pay-per-view flashback series podcast. We'll make the name up at a later date. Joined once again by Lissy Almeida and John Jacobs. I don't know why I'm pointing there hardly in the same room. We're here to look at the Royal Rumble from 1992. Lissy, you are the biggest Bobby Heenan fan. Explain to us why this is the greatest Rumble of all time.
Well, if I'm going to appease you, I'm going to say because the Nature Boy obviously comes out on top of this one. So, oh my God, winning it! Sorry, JJ.
I mean, you are right. I mean, the Flair interview at the end is one of his top promos when he called himself Mr. WWF, which is just very weird. Vince actually hates that as well, so it's great to watch that. But JJ, have you seen this before? And if so, where does that rank amongst your personal pecking order?
I have not seen it before. I did know who wins, and if you didn't
I know this, you spoiled it.
And if you didn't know who won, then WWE Network ruined it anyway. When you scroll down to the bottom and scroll along to find the start of the Rumble match, you can see him lying there in the ring, and then the shot of him in the promo at the end. So yeah, I know who wins. I know that he is either number 1 or number 2, and I know that it's for the title and not number 3. Okay, and I know it's for the title and not for the main event spot at WrestleMania. Past that, the rest is going to be a surprise.
So a bit of backstory. This is in the aftermath of because The Undertaker had beaten Hulk Hogan for the belt, I want to say around Survivor Series time with Flair helping. Hogan won the pay-per-view. Hogan won it back the week after at Tuesday in Texas.
You got me, brother.
Yeah, that was the one where The Undertaker, a year in, and Hogan, have you heard the story about Hulk telling him all day, you know, watch my neck and back. But Undertaker tombstones him. And he goes and lies on Vince's desk pretending to be injured. He spends the night in the hospital. Damn it, Vince, we can't trust these young kids coming in. Just keep me on top a bit longer. That's goodbye. So anyway, he gets held up. Jack Tunney announces the Royal Rumble winner will become WWF champion. And in the week, 3 weeks build up, it's primetime wrestling with Bobby and Gorilla. Bobby intimates he's had everything on. This is the biggest bet of his life. He's mocked up all the best prices. You know, he's beat the price. It's a sea of blue and Checker. Bobby is in this for hundreds of thousands for the Nature Boy. So when he comes in 3, Bobby is apoplectic, which you'll see shortly. We're going to watch it on the WWE Network because we are fortunate that we don't have the cock over here. JJ, I'm on 116.32, slightly 2 seconds ahead. Lisa, you're on the cock, is that right?
Yes. For our cock users, Jesus, whoops. Sorry, we're on season 5 of Royal Rumble.
Damn it, pal. Such good shit. Right, and we're going to start off with the promos beforehand. There's 116.30, obviously hour-long Rumble promo before and afterwards, where we click play in 3, 2, 1. Roddy Piper has just think I beat the Mountie to become Intercontinental Champion.
The Mountie. When you think of the Intercontinental Championship belt, don't you think of the Mountie? Don't you?
I think of the Miz, which sounds not too dissimilar.
I mean, I used to love that belt as a kid. Same with that. I had my own little European title, which sounds really weird because no one loves that anymore. But the IC belt for me was so cool because I'd say like 97, where I just became a real big fan. It was Owen Hart, Stone Cold, The Rock. The Rock and Ken Shamrock had a great feud mid '98, and then it became Triple H, The Rock, and then it kind of became But we've also got one of the greatest all-time here, Mean Gene, setting the table.
What a guy.
No one's at the table like Mean Gene. Rest in peace.
And that's... I can't remember his name either. Shut up, Mooney. Sean Mooney, there you go. Mr. Perfect would always scream at him, shut up, Mooney. I think in terms of the Hall of Fames, I think it's 24 of the 30 are in the Hall of Fame already.
Wow.
This is the Hall of Fame Royal Rumble, honestly.
Who's this guy?
This is HB. Sherry must be here, surely. I was going back and watching a bit of Flair and Sherry 94 Cup. Sherry was so good.
I just love her.
Nobody played Mad as well.
I love this one too.
And you can take a hell of a bump. This is just a week after that coward Marty Jannetty threw himself through the window.
Here we go.
Iconic.
I would track it, but it's bland on every like side.
No,
I knew he'd do that.
You do that. This is so classic.
So this is the start of HBK like going on a singles run.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And then 6 months later, he'd become Intercontinental Champion, beating the Bulldog.
That looks sore.
So there again.
That looks sore.
That looked very sore.
On the broken glass.
It's a little bit stiff.
Poor Marty.
But yeah, people remember like the Bulldog beating Bret Hart for the title. What, August '92? I think August 30th, maybe. Around that time, the Bulldog was absolutely off his tits constantly. I think him and the Anvil were. I think Bret says like, "There's a great shooting of it. I'm fucked, Bret. I'm fucked. Can't do well. I'm fucked." And Bret carried him for half an hour. But yeah, so they took the belt off the Bulldog 2 weeks later at a Saturday night's main event taping, and then the Heartbreak Kid was made.
I'm going to be interested to see how many people I actually recognise in this.
Really?
Loads.
Do us proud, JJ. Come on.
Let's track it.
To a lot of people out there, they'd say, "My God, what a disadvantage you go in at." But look at it like this: when your name is Ric Flair, when you're the claimant to the real World Heavyweight Championship, you know that to make everybody a believer, that I've got to beat 29 other men. So argument number 3, that means I'll be in there close to an hour. It makes no difference. When I walk out, I will be the World Wrestling Federation champion against all odds, and that's the bottom line.
That is the bottom line from Ric Flair. So now back to the ringside.
Who the hell is that?
To the ringside.
You don't know, Lord Alfred.
Back to the ringside.
So again, Coliseum exclusive to them, obviously, which is weird because they sell it as such a shock.
AJ, we've failed you if you don't know who Lord Alfred Hayes is.
You know Lord Alfred Hayes is? How old are you?
Just hang up. Just cut. Just cut right now. I can't go on.
I mean,
I mean,
running disgust. So I mean, as a kid, I'd get all the Coliseum videos, and it was Lord Alfred who would do like the narrating, talking over. It was always I think Silvervision was the UK distribution, but he would pretty much narrate and host all those like pieces, like Ultimate Warrior and Hulk Hogan and Best Tag Team, whatever. Shout out to Macho Man for the matching gear to the Royal Rumble sign, by the way. That is unbelievable.
Only he could do it. Only.
Looking as only you can look. That's one.
Honestly, I just cannot believe the amount of money that he put into his gear. Like,
I thought you were going to say the amount of coke he's taken before this promo. Okay.
I watched
look at Sid.
Watched the old Spider-Man the other day, the one where Tobey Maguire goes into the wrestling ring, and I'm like, that sounds a lot like Macho Man.
It is. I looked
at him, I was like, shit, it was Macho Man.
Isn't that crazy?
I never knew that before, but yeah, very cool.
Really?
No, genuinely. Because when I watched the original Spider-Man, like, it would have just been at the pretty close to the start of my like wrestling fandom, and obviously Macho Man wasn't around. I hadn't gone that deep into it, so.
That's true. That's true.
The Repo Man, also known as, I want to say Barry Darso, the same guy who was Smash in Demolition.
Smash.
He was also Crusher Khrushchev as part of the Russians that we've seen in Mid-Atlantic Wrestling.
He looks very, very different here.
So I took offense because you cannot ask people to choose between Demolition and the Road Warriors.
It's great though, because people always argue. It's good for the algorithm. Push it up.
I was gonna say they were going mad in the comments. Like, it's a real thing.
I mean, Bulldog's in great shape here. Now, would you know, like, with your English accent, can you do the Bulldog?
Oh, I'm too shy to do it because I don't want to do it wrong.
I can do scores of 19 opponents, and I want to be WWF champion.
Where's my title shot? That's all I've got.
Not even his title shot.
Oh shit.
I'm still yet to see that what culture bit either. Not even my car. And I've said it a few times at home, and the missus just looks at me like, "What are you talking about?"
Do you know what that video that's from?
No, I've not seen
Oh
it.
my god, it was like a few years ago, but that was like a meme.
Not even my car. I just love Sidgwick doing his northern voice. It's a bit like when Adam Wilborn starts talking Yorkshire. You know, it's just a bit like this. Huh? I think Jake had just turned full heel here. Wasn't it around this time he just had the thing with Savage where he tied him in the ropes and set the snake on him?
Yeah, I think that was the year before.
No lies detected from Mr. Perfect. Let's track it.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Today we find out who's the fairest of them all. We're at the Royal Rumble, and 30 of the greatest World Wrestling Federation superstars gather today to find out who is the man for 4 months. I've called myself the real world champion, so for me, there's no backdoor. But remember, boys, and that's to all 29 of you, I've lived one way, and one way only, and that's with the belief to be the man, you have to beat the man. And today, at the Royal Rumble, I am the man. Woo! Oh, what a busy afternoon is going to be at my funeral parlor. 29 hearses of all.
I'm gonna stop that because it's a little creepy. But I used to watch. Okay, this is my era as a kid, and I remember like my dad once seeing Paul Bear goes, "What the fuck is that?" You think, how cartoony can this be?
Kids used to be so afraid of it.
Sorry. Can I ask why isn't Mr. Perfect in the Rumble, or is he? It just sort of seemed like he was Ric Flair's manager there.
Jack will tell you.
So Perfect had got injured. He came in around 89, worked for Hogan, became Intercontinental Champion in 90, and then he's pretty much all those Minnesota boys got unbelievable Lloyd's of London policies where they took out some decent health insurance policies, and then just got back injuries and just. They were claiming like $300-400 grand a year just to not wrestle. Amazing. But the problem was, like most of them, they got such an itch to be back in the ring that Vince, being how they always called Vince, don't they, like Jedi mind tricks. He can convince people to do anything, and they all end up wrestling again. So yeah, him and Rick Rude was another one that got injured and then ended up wrestling again. There's a few more who were doing it as well. But Perfect, he got injured. He ended up coming back late '92 to wrestle against Flair. Because Flair lost a loser leave title match against him on Raw in '93. But around the time, Mr. Perfect had the best wardrobe of tracksuits you've ever seen in your entire life.
Coach, put me in, coach.
Man, honestly, he would be like the flyest looking guy in Liverpool.
Better than Savile.
I was gonna say, is it hard to be the flyest looking guy in Liverpool? Just asking here, strictly that.
Liverpool's just the first player Travs.
Wow.
Got it.
What up? What you talking about? Oh, yeah, I never intend to go to Liverpool ever again. So, and I wouldn't be welcome back either. Look at the Fink. Best voice ever.
The only thing I can say in Scouse is Adam Lilani. That's all I got. And I can't say his name in a non-Scouse accent. I don't think
Adam Lilana.
I don't know what that
happening?
means.
What is happening?
Adam Lilani.
I'm looking at the Fink. I think Bobby just started throwing shade at him. Shut up, Fink.
It's Jack with the no sell for me.
Look, do you know what? I'm comedy gold for myself only because you guys just never pop.
No.
The problem is with your punchlines, JJ, it's always like it always seems like it's the line before the line. So I'm expecting. I always don't know whether it's a setup.
JJ,
Tony.
I think you're very funny.
I think you're very funny, hon. Yeah, of course you are. Don't tell what they say.
You're a very
Don't-
special little boy.
Don't give my friend a hard time. Listen, when you saw Jack Tunney, you know the big guns are coming out, okay?
Jack Tunney turned up, shit's going down.
Jack Tunney was the law back then.
And his brother was, I think his brother actually run the Toronto territory back in the day. Maple Leaf Gardens, that's not about right?
Correct. Wow.
Don't
You
know,
are
I'm
just
asking. Look up, yeah. JJ,
full
could
of
you know?
knowledge.
Yeah, Maple Leaf Gardens, a hotbed of. Thank you, Mr. President. Will you stop? Lisa, give a time check for people.
Okay, fine. I'm on 129.345. Hopefully you guys are in the same space.
I'm on 129.13, 14, 15.
Oh, perfect. Look at
Right,
us.
there you go. And we've got the British Bulldog coming out #1.
You know something? The Bulldog was good for coming out early in the Rumble.
Now,
Do you
listen,
remember,
one
like,
thing.
3 years later? What?
He's got the engine.
I don't see many. I don't see many white guys pulling off dreadlocks. Does he do it for you? Has he
No,
done it all
it's
right?
not dreadlock. These are like, I think they were meant row braids. To be honest, I feel like when his hair got a little longer, because remember this was like mullet time too. The front was just super short, and then the braids started about halfway back. But when his hair got longer, it did end up looking much nicer.
In my head, I remember Bulldog '97 buzz cut, looking glistening pecs.
Oh yeah.
Sherry looks phenomenal here, by the way.
The sensational one.
Look at the detail in the attire as well back then.
I feel like he should be like giving people money to throw themselves over the top rope. Just be like, here you go.
Well, everyone's got a
It's
price
not
in the
over.
$1 man.
I'm saying.
I love Sherry. The super sparkly outfits really popped.
I'm gonna say no one ever wore more glitter on her face than Sherry as well.
Oh, no one.
When she was with Sean, when she was then with she was definitely she was Flair in '94. She was with someone
First of
else in
all,
between as well.
as a woman in the early 90s, I don't know what sort of product supported removing makeup from the face, but it was probably really hard to take that shit off.
Yeah, I was watching the Ric Flair and Censor posters from this week. Apparently, it was Flair's going to be the original $1 Million Man.
Really?
He was talking to me in '88. He said I just couldn't leave. He said, ironically, I didn't want to leave Arn, Tully, and Barry. And then Arn and Tully fucked off 2 months later.
Yeah, but he already had his gimmick anyway. He didn't need a new one.
But what was Flair? He was lavish lifestyle. Rolex
Yeah,
watch.
lifestyle. He didn't. But
He'd
that's
come
what
on
I'm saying.
TV saying I made 3. He was the $1 Million Man.
Yeah, but he didn't need to change his name to be the $1 Million Man. He was already, like, people already associated him with the limousines and the jets and the Rolex and all that.
But you'll notice he wasn't called the Nature Boy once in WWF because Vince didn't understand it.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe he 100% was in his later run.
Not in the
When he
first
came
one.
back. No.
He means in this run here.
No, he was never called the Nature Boy. Jim Ross had called him on commentary. He was never called the Nature Boy Ric Flair.
Okay. But they would
Right.
say it. Like,
Let
it
me
wasn't
track this
like a
because
band.
this is.
It wasn't like a band phrase.
Here we go. Jack's getting ready. The
That's a
super
rough
self-
start for
So
the
the
Nature
crux
Boy.
is Heenan's got the lot on Flair. He's come
Yeah.
out 3. He's devastated. And
But we
Heenan is
saw in that.
Pardon?
We saw in that little bit with Lord Alfred Hayes that he already said, "I'm coming out at number 3." So
That was a
surely they already
Coliseum
knew.
video exclusive. If you looked at the
Okay. So Heenan
that-
would have been unaware.
yeah,
It was a surprise.
but
Fair enough.
but Flair basically spends Heenan spends like the 60 minutes just trying to coach Rick through it and having various heart attacks and strokes. And there's different plot threads. So Flair and Piper had a big rivalry. Mid-Atlantic Eddie 233, they have a thing with him. Flair lost the NWA title to Kerry Von Erich in '84. They have a big do with him. he had spots with Hogan and Sid, a few other guys, and it's like Flair's the main event here. And this is, I want to say,
one of the Nasty Boys.
Somewhere in New York. Where, Melissa, do you know where this is?
This Royal Rumble?
Yeah, Albany, New York. There you go.
Albany.
Who wants to go there?
Yeah.
Jack, you might have some memory of this, right? My first introduction to the Nasty Boys, there was some kind of like wrestling reality TV show on, I want to say like Channel 5, and the Nasty Boys like were one of the coaches that they got in for it. I cannot for the life of me remember what it was
And
called.
it was like some Hulk Hogan's like reality wrestling or something like that.
Yeah.
That was when he did the TNA run, and him and Bischoff were just running wild. Yeah. Around 2009-10, I think, because he brought them in TNA as well.
Right.
Jeff Jarrett's podcast very good because he just slaughters them, saying they just they killed TNA in 2009-10. Yeah, I remember that because I remember watching it. It's really weird because they then put on like 2-3 minute exhibition matches. We're going to show you how the business works, brother.
It was a strange show. It was a very strange show.
There goes Sags.
You could tell that they were the kind of people that wouldn't take too kindly to, some kid who wants to get into the wrestling world. They were going to show him that it was a tough life to live.
But back in the 80s, that's how you were broken in. They just beat the shit out of you. I mean,
sure.
That's how Hogan was. That's how Hogan broke into the business. He was training in Florida with Hiro Matsuda, and he broke his leg. Just to see if he'd come back. Big running power slam from Dave there. That's Shane McMahon as referee on the side. Oh, it's Haku.
Haku, toughest man.
The toughest man the wrestling business has ever seen.
I stole it, Sally.
He's some boy.
Did you say you think Shane McMahon's on the outside as a referee?
I know Shane was reffing around this time. I didn't know whether I'd spotted him on the other side.
Where do you think you see him, JJ? I see Joey Morella.
Joey Morella, yes, Gorilla's son.
No, Jack mentioned it, but I hadn't noticed.
Flair spends like half it just begging off. He does one of the top 5 flops of all time when he gets a discus punch from Kerry as well. But Bobby's commentary is just ridiculously good.
This just does uncover a fatal flaw in the Royal Rumble, right? Like, why doesn't everyone just roll to the outside under the bottom rope?
Big piles of. You are completely right. Because maybe they just get lost in it in the heat of the moment in the battle. Testosterone takes over.
Why does anyone climb over the top of a cage and you just go to the ref? Could you open that door, please, mate? Doesn't make that much sense, does it?
It's why I've never understood cage matches in the WWF, because to win you've got to escape the door. The babyface has got the heel like, night, no interference, I'm going to whip your ass, but I've got to crawl out to win. Okay.
And also, if you see someone climbing over the cage, why would you go after them and pull them down when you can just go, you do that, I'm just going to walk out. I'll be out.
You're trying to apply a logic to a illogical situation.
What is happening? What is happening?
Sorry, I apologize.
What's happening with Haku's pants? Are those what they call Zubas back in the day?
Maybe.
It's the Heartbreak Kid.
Here he comes in all his glory.
Yeah, throw trash at him.
Will you stop?
All right, Gorilla. Will you stop? Will you stop? I can't. Stop's got to be a good word in a Boston accent, surely.
There's certain people that I will defend with my dying breath, and it's a short list, and Shawn Michaels is definitely like at the top of that list.
I will never understand, but that is your right.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
Oh, that super kick was awful. Good mullet though. The mullet's looking good there.
Probably Bryan Danielson.
Bulldog's got a little bit of frizz going on here.
It's happening.
Yeah.
I told you at that time. mullet was a killer.
Back off. Take it easy, Rick. Pace yourself.
Yeah,
This is three just absolute legends in the ring. Various points in their career, but like
Gives you 25 legit hot. Like that's not a word. 25 people in WWE. Although I saw a great quote from Scott Steiner saying, "What is the WWE Hall of Fame? Just fuck all. It's just something in Vince's mind. Doesn't mean shit." Like, oh, that's why your nephew's called Braun Breaker, Scott.
It's true though, isn't it? Like, I mean, it doesn't really mean anything.
It's not the Professional Wrestling Hall of Fame.
Well, I think
although there was a question on Lisa. Have you ever seen a show called The Chase?
No.
Great game show.
The British quiz show.
Yeah, quiz show.
Oh.
And one of the questions: what's before they had to change their name due to a law? What is the official governing body? What is the WWF and the official? What was the official governing body of wrestling? Yeah. No, it isn't.
What?
Yeah, it was a question yesterday. Arriba.
How strange.
Like the official governing body. Like what? It's not like FIFA.
Anyway.
Is this when Tito Santana become like the Matador?
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of this version of Tito. Even like I loved him before when he was just regular Tito Santana.
Upper mid babyface, good IC champion in like 85.
Tito a Hall of Famer? I'm just sitting here like, are you a Hall of Famer? Is this guy a Hall of Famer? He must be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. We'll try and figure out who the five that aren't are.
Wait, is Tito in the Hall of Fame?
Tito is, yes, I don't think the Nasty Boys are.
And the Nasty Boys are not either.
Which is surprising, given the fact that they were around 93, they were like the main part of the time division.
Tito Santana was inducted in 2004.
Tito is like one of Vince's main guys. If you look at the first, I want to say the first Survivor Series, the last three guys standing were, or maybe 98, 89, it was Warrior, Hogan, and Tito.
I just got
doing alcoholic stuff. This is a really small bottle of Whispering Angel, and
I was
it was suggested I drink a straw.
I was literally going to ask, how's the wine from a straw? It's good.
It's wonderful. It's a small bottle, okay? It's like I don't know where the measurements are here.
You mean a small bottle?
They sell them at the shop downstairs.
It's a small bottle.
Shut up.
It looks bigger. I mean, looks like a normal size bottle from here.
No, it's not. It's like
maybe you have really small hands.
It's the 375. It's like not. Okay. It's like half of the.
Like a half, yeah.
Yeah. 2 glasses of wine. Come on. So this Barbarian or Powers of Pain Barbarian? Quick. I'm asking Jack. JJ doesn't know who they are.
Him and Megan Haku and Bob were pretty decent in WCW, but Bob with the Warlord, right? Is it the Warlord? 88, yeah.
Yeah.
They were. Barbarian was pushed as quite a big deal in Crockett.
And the Baron.
And the Baron, yeah.
Baron's still around in his little hood. He's so cute.
Just want to tell you guys that the Royal Rumble, right, is a lot of people's like favorite match. It's like a lot of people's favorite pay-per-view of the year. Doesn't that just show you that wrestling is not anything to do with like moves or any of that shit? It's just about pops. That's all it is. The surprise, the pop, winner
excitement.
At the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one cares about the crazy.
The one word out is anticipation.
There's never any good moves in a Royal Rumble, is there? Like no one's doing crazy shit in the ring. There's
it's
just
not meant to
punches,
Mr.
kicks,
Jacobs.
chops, get him over the top rope.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just an observation.
First, Royal Rumble is my favorite annual pay-per-view, so I'm gonna come for you if you keep it up.
I remember what
I love the Rumble. Of course, I love the Rumble.
The guys I lived with at uni, so 2008, they were casual wrestling fans, but they bought the Rumble, so I went down and watched it with them. Thinking, yeah, I'm too smart for you guys.
Can we just pause 1 second? I love that Jack wants to distinguish himself from the casual wrestling fans.
Not buying the Rumble. Bunch of marks. I'm watching New Japan from '95. Fuck out of here. Anyway, and I'm thinking, waiting. And I know Cena's injured because I like read the news. And then when he came out, I think he came out 30 today. Like,
Yep.
Oh God, this is a bad day. Bad day as a wrestling
The
fan.
pop was phenomenal.
Pop was huge, and they all cheered. And
Crazy.
I thought, yeah, I don't like you people. Pretty much.
Oh, Jack, wow.
You know, when I was like growing up, I never understood why people had an issue with Cena. Like, I never got it.
Here comes Von Erich. I love him.
This is the best.
I
Right,
know
let me
why.
track this because this is one of the best
Go on.
flare flops of all time.
Quickly.
Oh, I've missed it. That's fine, but
Whoop.
there you go.
I loved Kerry Von Erich so much during this run. I remember being like 4 years old.
Discus punch.
Yeah, he was one of my favorites during this time.
JJ, did you know Kerry Van Eyck, or if you want to call him Stone Age, do you know how he only had 1 foot?
Yeah, he had what?
1 foot.
Really?
Yeah, he had like a motorcycle accident, and
Do you not know this?
No, that's incredible.
He would.
Yeah, he kept it.
He would.
That's
He
why you
would
don't-
shower with his boots on for fear of. Like this was in about '84. He had a bad motor accident, and then he got infected. And Kerry was doing most of Von Erich's boys a lot of things they shouldn't have done to numb the pain the old-fashioned way. And yeah, he got infected, had to be amputated, and it was just never discussed anywhere up until like some heel who was like leaving territory in like '85 in world class just threw his foot, grabbed his boot and threw it across the ring, and he just went and hid underneath the ring until obviously main event until everyone left.
Wow,
That's so sad.
that's crazy.
That's how much because the idea of him, he'd be seen as a lesser man by having, having 1 foot, or just having an artificial foot.
I'm more impressed that he can do the things that he can
Exactly.
do with 1 foot.
He can still
Yeah, but
compete at such a level.
This was 40 years ago. Like, things were so different back then. You would consider him, weak or like an invalid at that time. He would be, completely done with his career, even though obviously he was still able to perform. Also, let's talk about the impact that had on his mental health. We know how he ended his life. It's so sad.
Well,
yeah.
that's one way to put it down, right? Lucy, thanks for that.
Yes, I'm a mental health advocate on the side. If I'm not doing whales
On the side, you make it sound like a side hustle.
I have a career that I do like from 8 to 5, but that's after all the other stuff that I like to do.
What's your career, let's say? Professional IG thirst trap or what?
Oh, shut up. Go to hell.
Ooh. JJ, don't you dare say the word shame. Shame, shame, shame. I can't believe you've never seen Ross Fedor. You love him. Anyway, how many's in the ring now? 6. We've not had many eliminations as of yet.
This is that part where like it starts to get a little bit busy.
Filling up the ring.
I love when they fill up the ring.
Anyone that comes in 10 to 20 in the Rumble is usually pretty boring, right?
Wow.
I mean, that's
just that period in the Rumble where
comment.
it's just overcrowded, like you can't really follow what's going on. I'm not saying everyone who comes in 10 to 20 is the job. I'm just saying like that portion, you decide, okay, there might be some pops in here, but.
Do you know what I love about JJ? JJ keeps it so real. He's like, anybody who's 10 to 20, like, fuck you. I can't wait to see. Now I'm really going to think about this year when I'm watching the Rumble. Like, whoever comes in 10 to 20, John Jacobs thinks that you're shit and you're so uninteresting and can't wait for you to get eliminated.
I'm not saying the people in 10 to 20 are bad. I'm saying that portion where there's usually like so many people in the ring that you can't really follow.
Right.
And then like it sort of settles down a little bit, like once you get into the 20s, past like 23.
Here's my guy, the Hammer. I love Greg Valentine so much.
Do you know, I've got it wrong here. I think it's only 17 in the Hall. Haku's not in the Hall of Fame. Can't believe it.
Oh my God. can't believe it.
I think Lissy's trying to create more t-shirts because her cliche list has become. What is
It's
happening?
growing. It's just
Oh my
always
God.
growing.
The Hammer's
Repo
definitely
Man? Is
has to
Repo
be.
Man in the Hall of Fame?
Who?
I think
Is
he
who in
is.
the Hall of Fame? The Hammer?
Demolition have to be.
Who are you talking about? I'm so confused.
Oh,
Harry
okay.
Darso plays the Repo Man.
Okay, yeah, so Demolition are in there, right? So he's in there. But as the Repo Man, no. Yeah, that's fine. It
I mean,
counts,
that's
it
probably where
counts.
you get the most.
We'll
That's why
give it,
that's
we'll
why it's
give
like
it.
a technicality, right? If you play a
Yeah,
different
yeah,
gimmick.
The
Ric
Repo Man
Flair's
was
in there,
not
like-
his best character.
No, of course. It's like me saying the dentist isn't in there, but Kane is. Like, it counts. It counts.
The dentist.
I mean, Greg Valentine. People don't say Greg Valentine was a huge draw in like late 70s in Mid-Atlantic, early 80s. In the massive match with Piper, the dog collar match in '83 at Starrcade. Then went and become Intercontinental Champion '84. But he's now basically a meme of being like an old gym teacher,
I won't hear of it.
or looking like the what's it called? Looking like the girl baddie from Goonies.
I won't hear it. I
Hey,
won't.
guys!
I am not going to tolerate this bullshit. I'm not. The Hammer is on the protected list. I'm not entirely sure why, but he is.
I'm not sure.
See, Nikolai Volkov coming in between 10 and 20. Shit. No one cares.
Will you stop? I
Where
love
even-
Nikolai Volkov. He's
Where
a
the
legend.
hell? Where's Albania anyway? It's not even a real country.
First of all, it's not even Albania.
That's such British humor. That's just.
I'm sorry.
I mean, JJ's turning to David Brent now for this one. Oh yeah,
You-
Albania, you're
JJ's
right.
Okay, I love this JJ.
How many civil wars have you won?
You don't know what's in here. That's what's going on.
It's the Ginny Gin Gin.
I missed JJ on the gym. That was
All right.
fun times.
Let's talk about Jay Lethal. No, I'm joking.
Absolutely.
Nikolai Volkov, for all your insults, he's in the WWE Hall of Fame, 2005.
Of course he is.
He's also a winner of the Worst Tag Team Award for the Wrestling Observed with Boris Zukov in 1988. So.
And
The
he's gone.
Bolsheviks-
See you later. Nice knowing you. Number 12.
He was with the Bolsheviks. It was him and the Iron Sheik. Come on.
Tag
Those
Team
two
Champions.
together.
I'm going to say, what, 85, 86?
I love that. I love when he used to say Iran #1, Russia #1. It's like, okay, there can only be one #1, but that's a technicality. We're gonna keep going. I love him.
The crazy thing was they thought that they could just repackage Nikolai Volkov 20 years later as Vladimir Kozlov and just like, oh, let's try it again. Same person, same thing. Same
Do you know what?
gimmick.
I'd got back into
Yeah, I
watch
think-
it around that time. I remember just thinking, he just kept having big squashes. And then he faced someone who's decent, like the Undertaker or Triple H, and lose quite easy. And again,
Yeah.
well, what's the point of this?
Here's the
But
boss man.
what was their plan? They gave him all these squash matches, then they were like, oh, now you've got a big match against the Undertaker. You're not going to win, but let's see what happens after that, buddy. Nothing's going to happen after that because everyone's going to think you're a loser.
Oh my god.
Big Boss Man, if you listen to everyone, it's supposed to be like one of the nicest, sweetest guys in the who's ever lived in the industry. Very typical guy from Marietta, Georgia.
He is, yes. Marietta, Cobb County, Georgia, the home of my favorite family.
I can never do the trunge and think, oh, and he's gone. The Repo Man. I like the fact that Repo Man's being kicked out and then he's trying to look for what?
A vehicle.
Do you know what I read about Big Boss Man recently, which made me really like him? Terry Runnels said that when she first started in the
He'd ring her every day.
WWF, he would just I think he would travel with her and just look after her, because there obviously wasn't that many women around in the dressing room, and she'd get comments and shit like that. He would just hang out with her all the time, and just
I saw that.
Yeah,
she said he rang me every day, every night, to make sure he got back to the hotel. Said,
yeah.
What a nice guy.
I know. Not a police officer at all. Completely different from his gimmick. Keeps people safe.
Yeah,
Oh, Kerry's gone as well.
We'll see.
Ricky, get out of the way. So we just see the Bulldog and Kerry, the Texas Tornado. I want to call him Kerry running the Texas Tornado. And the Bulldog both gone.
No, there's no rules here. You can call him what you'd like.
Excellent, no rules. Tito Santana and Shawn Michaels have gone. This must be, is this Piper's due soon?
Jake the Snake.
That's not Jake the Snake.
It's Hercules. What is the matter with you?
There you go. A little known fact, Hercules Hernandez. You've just looked at the stash, haven't you? Despite the fact he's got a big H on his boots.
No, I just know stuff.
I just saw the little square. I saw the hair. I saw the
stash.
Like, Jake. No.
Jake's like 6'4". People forget how big he is.
Yeah.
Hercules Hernandez was at the time part of Power and Glory with Paul Roma.
Power and Glory, yeah.
Manager. That was probably the better time, in my opinion, for Paul Roma's career because
I'm pretty sure Hercules Hernandez was like one of the first guy Cornette managers as well. I've got a photo somewhere of like Cornette was. I want to say Mid-South in '84. Yeah, he was a massive draw in Bill Watts' territory, and then just became absolutely juiced to the gills. He's one of the few people he isn't in the Hall of Fame.
No.
Considering he was around in like, considering he was around in like the peak years, and he was in the Heenan family.
Yeah, but did he do anything remarkable at that time?
I mean, not really. But did anyone have to do anything? I suppose he never won. He never won
a belt,
won a title. Yeah.
Title, a championship, if you want to use the
boss man. Oh,
that looks painful.
Next.
Rick's a champion.
I love this bit in the middle of a rumble.
Psychology, like I just love that.
He goes and sits in the corner.
That's me at most parties.
All he's missing is a gin and tonic. I'm gonna sit here and drink you all.
I don't know. What's in that tumbler? I'm dying to know now.
No. Oh. Short arm clothesline. Oh, but we've got to mention the thing. What do you make of Cody not working without a contract?
No one cares.
Oh, that's hurtful.
It's not hurtful. It's
not weird. He's an EVP.
It's not weird. I don't think it's weird because it shows that him and Khan, they obviously have like a lot of trust with each other. I'm sure that. Huh?
The Sugar Man, TK.
I hate you.
Goes on sprinkling sugar.
Yeah, like, but honestly, I'm sure that Vince has done that with people that he's very close with. Like somebody like The Undertaker that Vince trusts with his life. I'm sure that they could have done that if they haven't already. That's what
I've got a question. Is Brandy working without a contract? How is it Cody doesn't have a contract with Jay Lethal, does he? Shambles. Anyway, we've got Roddy Piper being attacked by Jake Roberts on the far side. Who's in next? Oh!
JJ, so if Chad Gable was in this Rumble, what do you think?
How quickly would he be squashed? Anyway, belated happy birthday. Hacksaw Jim Duggan turned 68 last week.
Happy birthday. And wishing
1
him
year from the big one.
Continued good health.
Will you stop? He was nearly almost blackballed, having been found. You remember in like '87, he was the big baby face just coming from Mid-South, and he was caught, like him and the Iron Sheik both stoned absolutely out their minds in a car. And it wasn't the fact they were on drugs; it was the fact that one was a baby face, one was a heel, and it was reported everywhere. Vince fired them both on the spot. Oh, Vincey, baby, I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to be, but Big Jim, he forced me to ride with him.
It's a success story for marijuana. Like, that's how much it chills you out, even your worst enemy, you know? Just get along.
Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah.
Talk
Just
about the
where it
meaning
was
behind
first.
South Park. It's fine.
Bag of
It's
weed.
called, guys.
Have Jim Duggan and Roddy Piper got the same pants on here?
Yep.
Well, they
unlike,
always
tag
wore
teams
the
that never
exact
were.
same thing. So
Well, but different knee pads and boots. I mean, that's the important thing.
Yeah.
that's the important thing. Yeah, you're right. Come on.
Flair wants it. He's a champion. Look at him.
Wow.
Anyway, for spoilers, obviously Flair wins it. But the promo Flair
Spoiler,
cuts,
30 years.
the promo Flair cuts at the end is just phenomenal.
You just can't wait to get there. You want to
Phenomenal.
fast forward now?
I get so excited just to post it on the day of. It's just the fact when, because Flair's obviously going mental, and then Perfect comes in going, we aren't the kind of guy to tell you we told you so, but we look at each other, told you so.
IRS out between 10 and 20. I rest my case.
You know what? Let me tell you something right now.
Let me tell you something, brother. All right, Dusty.
That is not true. IRS is someone that you knew he wasn't going to win, but he is a solid competitor.
You thought that you're
He's
going to turn
also-
into Jim Ross out. Wait, he's a good hand, good
Let me tell you
fundamentals.
something, brother. IRS, solid competitor.
Right. Rotunda was, again, Mike Rotunda had a great run in like Mid-Atlantic 82, 83. And then he was part of the Varsity Club in 89. But look what he was packing. And then he went to WCW in like 95 and he was like VK Wall Street. Like, come on, you're not going to get over us that. He bought it. He's from good stock. He's raised some good wrestling kids.
Flair just collapsed. No one around him.
He's tired.
Poor guy. Still some big names left to come.
Hashtag big names.
Like who? The Hulkster?
Yep, Macho Man, The Undertaker,
I call him
What?
Taker.
Marty Jannetty.
Marty
Yeah.
Jannetty isn't in it.
Oh wow.
He
So
just went through
the two
he's
big
really busy.
the two big changes were they pulled Marty Jannetty out like the week of to sell the injuries from the barbershop, and he was replaced by Nikolai Volkov. And the other one that was also pulled out was Brian Knobbs, who was stabbed the week before in real life.
Wow.
Didn't expect that, did you?
No.
Speaking of murderers, who's
Superfly.
Jimmy Snuka?
The murderer.
Stop it!
What? They say no lies
Yeah.
detected.
You know, guys, I just try to put on a clean show, and I do my best here.
You talk
Yeah,
about a side hustle. We talk about.
but
This is her
Oh,
side
you
hustle.
stop. Let's give a plug to the people who's on your shirt because I've never heard of them.
the people, you mean the person?
The
All of them.
person. I don't know.
Oh, so shout out to everyone knows I love my indie wrestling, especially down here in South Florida. So today we are representing, let me make sure I don't fall, Jackal Stevens, wrestling out of CCW, which is quickly becoming actually one of my favorite indie promos down here. So, muy bien, approve.
Davey, that's for you, big man. Anyway, on to the Rumble. We've got Jimmy Snuka in there, IRS. We've got Roddy Piper. We get 7 views. Nobody cares.
No way. Ain't no way, boy.
We'll get the editing team to work on that one. The editing team being the lackey from Knockout Entertainment who gets the short straw. Speaking of short straws, how's your drink, Missy?
It's perfect. I love it.
Perfect.
Just as all the other whispering angel I've ever had.
If we want to get
Maybe
real
this-
numbers,
Serving size.
so if we want real numbers, we'll ask Lizzie what she thinks about Prince Harry asking for protection from the monarchy.
First of all, he can go to hell with that bullshit.
Does he want his cake and eat it?
Come on. You
Look at
either you want
KG's face. Like, what's this?
to be a private citizen or you want to be part of of the royal family. Okay, you can't have both. That's all I'm ever gonna say about this.
The funniest thing for me is like you. I'm
No
pretty
one
sure
asked you.
I think you love the royal family more than the two Brits on this show combined.
I absolutely love the royal family. Look at the
give a
queen's right
shit.
here. Wait, no, right here. Where's Her Majesty?
Yeah.
There she is. The queen's right here. Like, I love the royal family so much, and
But
I
Harry
think
named his daughter Lilibet. Will
No
you
comment.
stop?
will you stop? No, but for me, like, I just think it's so unfair to Her Majesty. She is 95 plus. She's
And
going
she's had
into
a
the
tough
70s.
life, very tough life, you know.
She has, okay? She absolutely has. She's been on that throne 70 years, doing thousands of events a year, okay? She is such a hard worker. She just lost her husband this year. She
Speaking of
doesn't
hard
need that
workers, Ric
bullshit.
Flair's put on a hell of a show here. But we'll go on.
Yeah, let's change the subject before I get really fired up. Shit.
But I don't really care. Like, you really like them. I'm just like nonplussed.
I
I don't
don't like
dislike them.
I love them, okay? I love them.
JJ, you're nonplussed about most things bar Jay Lethal or Bryan Danielson. For contrasting
true.
reasons, sir.
Maybe true.
I hate you guys because you know exactly what to say to get me fired up.
So for
This
any
is-
maths fans out there, John Jacobs plus Jin times Jay Lethal equals we just can't go there because we had some great footage and I had to delete it because fuck Jay Lethal. Hey, Jay Lethal follows no
And
context.
fuck
Flair,
Bryce
isn't it?
Remsburg.
What is
That's all I've got to say.
What is happening? Yes. Well, the audacity of Harry, the audacity of people thinking Roddy Piper's going to win this.
Anyway, the Undertaker's here.
Who thought that?
My Rotunda must be a Hall of Famer, surely.
Look at him. Here he comes like a bat out of hell.
It's the match.
Oh,
Oh,
see you
yeah.
later.
With his do-rag.
It's really just is the do-rag for me.
I think at the end of that ramp, he was like, wow, this is a long ramp because he sprinted.
Well, apparently,
He's already gassed.
he was so clinging on hair-wise that he'd grow it out and then kind of comb it long and straighten it. I think he'd shave it off by like 2002, but yeah.
I mean, it was a lot.
I'm thinking like Rotunda now, he's not in the Hall of Fame. He's been like he was an agent for 15, 20 years there.
Yes.
Wow.
And two of his kids were superstars too. Lest we forget.
Also got Wyndham Rotunda, right? His son's the Fiend.
Yes.
Oh, Jake the Snake's gone.
That was a
Wait,
shocking
He
elimination.
eliminated himself.
Ricky Savage. The best elimination of all time. The
Fucking
self-elimination.
idiot.
Wow. There you go, JJ. The heat of the moment. Why don't you limit? Why don't you go into the because he just wanted to beat Jake the Snake so much. JJ, have you seen the video with the angle with him and Jake and Macho with the snake biting?
Yes.
Right. Well, this was like 3 weeks later, so they're having a big program.
Okay.
It was supposed to climax at WrestleMania. It's supposed to be Flair and Hogan, but that didn't work for Hulk, brother. And Hulk faced it in the main event in a just nothing match. Flair lost to Savage.
The best thing about these few minutes is that The Undertaker is desperately trying to bring Savage back into the ring to eliminate him properly, and it's just not working.
Why?
I don't
don't
know.
understand.
Why what?
Why is he like so desperate to bring him back in?
Because Randy eliminated himself. He jumped over the top rope.
I know, but he's over. It's done. It doesn't matter. Do you know what I find really interesting? I've always wanted to know more about like how they put these matches together. Because like one misstep and you could just like ruin WrestleMania. Like
I mean, that kind of happened with who was it?
Batista did it, right?
Yeah.
I think Batista went over when he wasn't supposed to.
Stone Cold in '96. He was supposed to be there in like the final four. He came in around 8, 9. And he either eliminated someone, but the baby oil on them made him go over the top rope as well after about 10 minutes, and it ruined all plans. And he thought that was it. Then his career was knackered.
I'm
And he
sure
had
there
to
was
redo
one where
everything.
Batista like got eliminated when he was supposed to win it.
Him and Cena, 2005, right?
So there was
2006,
that.
Story
There was
Squad.
that where they both went over the same time as the final two, right? But
2000,
you can work around that.
2005.
And people like John
The
Morrison and
Barbarian.
Kofi, when they do
No, the
these like
Berserker.
spots, and they
Berserker.
always work. Find them amazing.
I always call him Barbarian. Jim
The
Powers.
Barbarian's already here. Come on, Jack.
Jim Powers, that's his name. I called him something else once, and I had about 20 comments going, "No, that's not his actual name."
You said
Let's
Jim
do-
Powers.
let's do that
Isn't
again.
it Jim Nord?
That's what I mean. I called him Jim Powers rather than Jim Nord.
Oh, okay.
You have no idea.
We're gonna
the
get
people
so
who
many
comment.
comments now, Jack. I see what you're doing, buddy. Good work.
People who
I
come
love
on the
that.
comment straight away. I think you're fine. He's actually... Oh, fuck off, you knobhead.
Got him.
You know what? There's some guy who commented on my no context Keen page going, I think you'll find this is actually out of context, not no context. How about no
my-
fucking blocked? Fuck off. 3 times he commented in a week. It's still, and the second one, it still really annoys me that this isn't actually no context, it's out of context. Buddy, unfollow. Go get yourself a drink. Just
I've never in my life seen John Jacobs this funny. This is actually second to Jin JJ.
Jin JJ. That night we're living infamy. What dynamite that I remember that dynamite kicked off with a hell of a match. I can't remember what that was. Was that a dragon?
It was Dragon, yeah, because we were saying, I was saying
Hang
like,
on, we'll hang
it
on
would
and
be
watch Dynamite.
fine. I was like, it's fine if sometimes they start with a promo. Like they don't always have to start with a banger match. Like they can mix it up. And then they started out with Hangman, Brian cutting his heel promo on Hangman.
Yeah, that was it. Why are you wrestling me now? No. I'm injured. You're just trying to take advantage. Time check coming out there. We're at 2:14, 2:14, 15, 16, 17.
And here he is, Virgil. Who is
I'm
like
guessing
low-key
Virgil is
hilarious.
a Hall of Famer.
No, he's low-key hilarious, just like for his foolish commentary on like the gram and Twitter. But yeah.
I just like the fact when Jericho, again, it's so sad to see that the route Jericho's gone the last 18 months, when he was champion and he brought in, I think they had a few different type award night celebrations. Virgil was there as a talking head when they called him Soulman Jones, Soul Train Jones. I have no idea what type of animal that is, but Chris Jericho's the goat over there. That's Virgil.
I think Eddie might bring out the best in him. Because if he goes around saying this shit to Eddie that he's been saying for the last 6 months, like, oh, you've got a square head, mate. Then Eddie's just gonna go like, I don't give a fuck. Like,
do you not really want me when he
about?
started calling 2.0 Terrence and Phillip, like, mate, you're Canadian. the entire joke about Terrence and Phillip is the two. Hello, Terrence. The two Canadian guys.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
But if he said this shit to Eddie when they actually like have their feud, which I mean they're dragging out a little bit already, but Eddie's just gonna be like, what are you talking about? You're an idiot. You're better than this. He might actually bring out something good in him. We know it's there deep down. He's just resting on his laurels.
I've actually, despite your lofty recommendations, I never watched Rampage from 2 weeks ago, nor did I see the one from last week, so I am a little behind.
How do you not watch Rampage if you've seen Hook's matches? No.
Yeah, just watch it on YouTube.
So you haven't seen the women's street fight?
Right.
Oh my god, it's incredible.
Oh my god.
Speaking of my guy.
Oh my god. Fuck Hulk Hogan, the jabroni.
It's literally like at least twice a week he tweets that. I love him so much.
It's not him who runs his account. Come on, this.
Of course it is. No one else could be that crazy.
Did you guys watch his documentary where like one of his best friend's kids like rediscovered him and like help to get him on the social platforms and things like that, and get him like sort of like get him like rebookings and stuff. Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Okay.
that's who we have to thank for all of this, especially the Sheik on Twitter.
So it's amazing the amount of people from this era who've died. The Sheiky baby is still alive and kicking at 79 years old.
First of all, he's not going anywhere.
Speaking of Twitter, if you've
Despite
got a
all
Twitter,
of his
follow us,
substance
Mainly
abuse,
Wrestling.
he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, Jay, you've got to do that while Lissy's not talking. There you go.
Say it again, buddy.
Said follow us on Twitter at Mainly Wrestling. And
I click-
Instagram while you're there, you know what I'm saying?
I clicked
All
that
the
up.
social
JJ, how
platforms.
many tweets have you put out for us?
One, maybe two.
Stuff.
First of all, where is the Knickerbocker Arena in Albany, New York? Is it still
Albany.
there? I have so many questions. Do you guys know where Albany is?
What's Taker doing right now? Albany's New York.
Yes, it's the capital of New York, actually.
Albany's, I mean, Albania is, they don't get along with Serbians. Lissy, where's Albania?
In Europe.
Ah, in Europe.
That big old place. Yeah.
In Eastern Europe, if we want to get specific.
Europe, the world.
Those damn Europeans.
Can I ask
Idiots
a
from
question?
Northern Europe.
You can ask us
Dumb.
as many questions as you want, provided they're
Obviously, the three of us, we talk every day, and I think that I don't know how this hasn't come up yet, but do people from Britain or from the Isles
Great
consider
Britain?
themselves? Yes, yeah. So why did I say Britain? I meant to say British.
across
Consider
the
themselves
pond.
European, because I always hear, British people refer to on the continent or whatever. So do you disassociate yourselves with the continent? I have to know.
The people who live basically in Spain.
No, but I mean, right, we're obviously we're European, like we're part of Europe, but we're not attached to mainland Europe, right? So
On the
Obviously.
continent would be like Spain, Italy, France. If you're gonna,
Yeah, no, I know that, but I'm saying, do you consider yourselves European? Because I feel like,
oh, we
a
are
lot of British-
European. Britain's in Europe.
yes, but I'm saying like a lot of British people like to distinguish themselves from Europe.
Yeah,
I
they
think if
generally
you
have.
are-
They generally have a very high gammon content. I don't know if that would ever translate to any American viewers. So they'd be very. Oh, man, don't go into politics, but right wing.
I just want to know that over here,
Oh, hey, come over here, stealing our jobs, idiots.
over
People of
over
that
here,
description.
everything
If they were in America, they'd be very hardline Trump supporters.
from
Make of
Portugal
that what you will.
to Russia is Europe, and everything in between. Just so you guys know that that's how we consider it. So
Like maybe
Okay,
Jake and I are quite Russian. Like we are British, we're European. It doesn't mean anything.
doesn't mean anything.
it's like when I would watch like TV, like American kids TV shows, right? The classics like Sister, Sister, and they'd be like, we're going to Europe on
Oh,
holiday.
it's
I'd be
hope.
like, you can't just say you're going to Europe. Like that's not a
Yeah.
thing. It's a big place.
Yeah.
You need to specify.
Look at the pop for the Hulkster.
There he is. Shirt's still on. What is this? The handkerchief is on his head.
God, I hate him so much.
That's how you can tell English is not my first language. I went to a call Netherlands, which is what we call it in Cape Verde.
Which to me is so ridiculous. Like your English is. It's not consent. Your English, you sound like English is your mother tongue.
It is. After I went to school.
It can't
Those
be your
people-
mother tongue after you went to school. It's your
those
mother tongue's your native language.
Those people didn't speak English to me at home. No, when I was growing up, like
Those
we spoke-
people. Those
my family, you mean? No, they didn't
those
speak
people.
English home. I mean, I definitely
Papa Air.
like we didn't have to. But you watch TV and stuff, so you catch on. And I had a sister who
Oh, I can't believe Hope just eliminated Taker.
Oh, he's
But
gonna kill him one day.
that was the revenge for my neck, brother.
I'll tell you what's up. My 3-month-old son, or sometimes like as he's sleeping, his eyes open and he looks like he's the Undertaker. He's terrifying.
Yeah. That's such a
Isn't
baby.
that the
He'll just be there asleep and then going.
Just to speak
George, you all
about,
right?
speaking about languages and kids, Seb's like new thing when he's done something that I have to clear up, he'll come to me and go, "Daddy, caca."
Which is
That's
what
like
they call,
the only Spanish word he knows.
which is what they
That's
call
it.
it in Spanish hospitals. Yeah, daddy caca.
But you understood.
He's not telling you his favorite footballer. No.
love
Right. So Hulk is running wild in the ring. We've got Savage, IRS, Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Flair is trying to chop Hulk, and he wants none of it.
Look at this guy, Skinner.
I had
He
his
should have come
figure.
out between 10 and 20. I don't know.
I had Skinner's figure where if you pressed it down, his arms would just go. No move.
So
Just I had Skinner's figure though.
So Skinner, obviously the alligator man from the Bayou.
Skinner
What?
was basically supposed to be a bad version of Crocodile Dundee, was he not?
Dang, like, no, but that's where I'm sorry. I keep forgetting that you guys don't know too much about the local colloquialisms. So anybody from the Bayou is like
What's the Bayou?
Louisiana, that area where it has like heavily populated with alligators. Like that's
Right, like
what
swampy type places.
Yeah, that's a stereotypical person from down there would look like Skinner.
Okay.
So I've seen Steve Kern. Again, I'm a wrestling geek. I watch various territories. Steve Kern was in there as quite a decent baby face, and then looking. By the time he got to the WWF, he was 40 years old, and his gimmick was he was an alligator hunter from the Florida Everglades, always chewing tobacco, and he carried an alligator claw. Like, right, okay. Just
Did you even
weird.
try? Did you even try? That's
Right,
really
yeah, that's basically it. Like, how many cliches can you stick with him?
Did we even try?
Skinner
Certain
is
stuff
not
was
in the Hall of Fame.
Is not.
So this is the
He
thing,
was-
like you take the best guy from every territory, right? And then you put them all together in one.
That's what Vince
You've
did in
got to have someone at the top
1985.
and someone at the bottom, haven't you? So that's just the way it's going to go. You can't
That's
have
right.
50 stars.
Well, Vince went. He went to Mid South, and he got Hercules, and he got the Junkyard Dog. He went to AWA, he got Hulk Hogan, Mean Gene, Orndorff. Then went to the Carolinas, got Greg Valentine, Roddy Piper. He kind of handpicked a lot, and those kind of the other ones fell down the pecking order kind of as a result. A bit like a football squad. If you bring in two or three new star players,
Yeah.
you're suddenly on the bench, aren't you?
Yeah.
Somebody's got to ride it.
Cue a Roy Keane rant about Fred. If Fred is good enough to play for Manchester United,
You just missed a that's what she said, and I'm really disappointed in you.
Why would you say?
Because I said somebody's got to ride it.
I mean,
I got nothing.
We're both quite tired. I mean, it's
I'm sorry. It's really late in Europe.
I don't know what sex is anymore.
We
so.
actually are in Europe now. You know, I'm pretty convinced that I created that's what she said, except it was a girl said that to me once. It wasn't as snappy. In year 7, so 2001.
So we were 12. Go on.
Yeah, 2001 on the school trip, and you know me, always the comedian, and there was just so many situations.
That's a joke, right?
There were just so many situations where the teacher stand at the front of the coach and he said something kind of dodgy, and I would just keep just kept happening. It just became a running joke, and I would go, "Girl said that to me once," and we would just all start laughing hilariously.
Only 2 more inches, by the way. So
that's 2001. So pretty sure.
And then The Office stole it from you.
Well, that's what she said was around way before The Office.
Okay, but I'm saying they made it famous before you could.
Sorry. I mean, fair play to them. Look, they made it snappier, didn't they? A girl said that to me once isn't as funny.
I can't believe Rick Martel's at the Hall of Fame because he had a hell of a run. Former AWA World Champion. Big deal in Japan in the 80s. Sid Justice Sid is number 30, Sid's 29. There's one more in here, and Sid at this time has been brought in and been given the monster push. It's just a pity he couldn't work at all, and he loves softball. God love
Great
him.
actor though, right?
Loved
Great
his
actor.
softball. Did you see the? Okay, actually, I'm not even going to repeat it because I do not speak poorly or ill of Bret Hart.
Listen, can you give us educate us in terms of culture? How big is softball in America?
Probably
Is
like
it like for us?
about that
A lot
big.
of us,
Go ahead.
a lot of guys out here will play five-a-side football, and in the UK especially, you'd get together with like 4 or 5 mates, and you'd enter a team, and you'd play like
Yeah.
one night a week. Is that what softball is basically in America?
That's exactly what softball is.
Right.
Most or many, especially in this era, middle-aged white men played softball. It was
Why middle-aged white men?
It's an excuse to get out of the house, isn't it?
Can upper class
My
African American guys not play softball? Are they too busy
No.
cleaning their monocles?
No, we
I was
played.
thinking of Uncle Phil from Freshman's Bel-Air.
No, we played.
I loved him,
basketball.
by the way.
No.
R.I.P.
I know James Avery, rest in peace. He was a legend. No, but I think like middle-aged white men would go more towards softball at that time. I think now
An excuse to get away from Erin Dawes for an evening. All right, lads. All right. Now that's JJ humor.
Keep JJ alone. He's doing great.
JJ, you think just be doing this when he disapproves?
Shame.
Number 30 is about to come in.
Come on,
I've
man.
lost count of okay, this is number 30. Here it is.
Oh my God, can I just try this? Because what is Slick wearing here? That is tremendous.
Big pop.
I won't say big. Look, I tell you, Slick. It's Harvey Whipple. I thought the All Out was managed by Slick. And he hates the name. Have you seen the video of The Rock giving him like a big, massive car?
Go ahead.
Have you not seen the video?
No.
I've not.
So Downtown Bruno, as he's called by most of his friends, big deal in Memphis wrestling. He really helped The Rock out when he went to Memphis in '96. Tried to help him out the business. I think The Rock stayed with him for maybe about 6-8 months. The Rock, he was skinned, paying his dues. And he's helped out on projects as like a runner. Oh, wow, what a bump by Sid on Slaughter. Wow. Anyway, so The Rock presented him with like £100,000. I don't really call him, I don't drive. Jeep, Land Rover, whatever.
We use dollars here.
Anyway, The Rock presented him with a big fuck off car. And so just, I always thank the people who helped me on the way. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
As my father would say, that's the way it should be.
Where's your dad from? Why is he from Sussex?
Oh my God, you have no idea. No, my dad has like the weirdest accent. My sisters and I always joke about it because it's like, where did you learn English? It's really difficult to understand. Like whenever our friends are talking to him, we have to translate my dad's English for them. It's so cute. A lot of laughing. We'll talk to him. Yeah.
I fucking hate Hulk Hogan.
Hulk's kind of like he's off the juice around this time as well, which is why he's less muscly and a little bit bloated. Did you see there's a post in the week showing that when Triple H and Stephanie were trying to be kids in 2003, Hunter had to step off the gas and he just becomes a little chubby little baby, an adult baby full of the chub.
He's also on the list, so let's.
Which is why Scott Steiner. Scott, will you take a piss test? Yeah. If Triple H comes with me, it's the same test. It's to say I didn't have to take that test that weekend.
I dropped my pen. Wow, Sid Justice.
Oh, he's just taken out 2. So Sid's taken out Piper. He's taken out Rick Martel. He took out Slaughter, and then suddenly we're down to just a handful.
4.
Sid was like the Kane of this.
And as usual, all you humanoids, I told you. And so Rick has just won the Royal Rumble with WWF Champion, but it has to be about Hulk Hogan.
I thoroughly enjoyed that.
This is the best Royal Rumble.
That went really quick.
I mean, it's not up there with the CM Punk one, but when he was in the what did he call it? The straight edge.
Only I haven't
Society.
watched WWE in about 15 years.
And
Tell your
CM Punk was
audience.
Straight edge society, and he was just clearing people out, and then just sitting in the ring and just telling people why they were the worst people, and then someone else would come in and clear it up. Great Rumble.
That's what so basically what Stone Cold did in '97.
Listen, yeah, but it's Punk, all right?
Whoa.
Yeah.
So they Hulk's hulking up after the match being lost. You fucking idiot! God, I hate Hulk Hogan. Anyway, so there you go. Ric Flair wins the Rumble. Hulk's there, taking to the. When you watch this, unless you're 5-6 years old, you think, what's he doing? You know, it's like losing a football match. You're 3-0 down, come back and lose 3-2, and then start cheering to the crowd.
Like, he's bald, but he's just letting this gross hair at the back just grow out. Like, get a life, you fucking idiot.
Oh my God, you guys.
Oh
What
my
is
God.
happening?
Anyway, this would end up being the main event of WrestleMania, despite the fact Flair's WWF champion and Randy Savage is. Yeah. If you remember, that was when Flair came out with the photos saying, "She's damaged goods, Randy. She was mine, but she was yours." Which
I
is
mean, he's just
basically
like a-
hashtag Flair hit it first.
He's just like a slightly bloody streak of urine running around the ring. It's disgraceful.
Who?
Just-
Terry.
Hogan, yeah.
Okay.
And the yellow.
Look, can we
bit of red.
appreciate the 3-piece on Pat, please? Uncle Pat with the nice waistcoat there.
I gotta go.
Is he wearing trainers? What's he doing? He's got a 3-piece suit and white trainers.
He has to get the job done.
Oh,
The
Pat.
show's nearly over. He got changed into his comfies to drive.
Comfy.
And then Hulk did this.
JJ, that might be lost across the pond there. Right, anyway, shut up, because it's the greatest promo of all time.
Gone.
Jack it, Jack.
I'll mute you myself if I have to. I don't care.
Champion.
I love it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps it up. We hope you have enjoyed your Royal
Tremendous.
Have you seen that before, Jack?
Do you know how come Vince McMahon not like that? Vince McMahon, like Flair said, Vince hated it.
He put
Awful.
over the World WWF title so massive there, considering, he's not long out of WCW.
He called to rule the wrestling world, you've got to be WWF champion.
Yeah, massive.
Say nothing.
But you think, JJ, that doesn't rank up there with the best Royal Rumbles? Give us something to watch instead.
I mean,
He just said it.
we're going to cover a few over the next.
We don't deal with anything that
Few
modern.
weeks, don't we?
We do with nostalgia.
All right. Well, okay. I thought, I think what we should do actually. You picked your favorite ever Royal Rumble. Lissy
Okay.
picked her favorite Royal Rumble, and I picked my favorite Royal Rumble, and we just
Well,
watch them.
We've
I don't think
just
that was my
watched
favorite. That was not my favorite.
Oh,
this-
is that not your favorite?
97
What's
is
your
my favorite.
favorite?
97.
Of course.
Brett
this
getting screwed again. Obviously, Brett always gets screwed.
I mean, I suggested the 2001 Royal Rumble, right? But that more of that is because that's Triple H versus. Am I thinking of the right year? Is that
You're
Triple H
thinking of
versus
2000
Hogan?
Triple H and Cactus Jack last
Triple H
match
in
in the garden.
Yeah, at the Garden. That was just a phenomenal pay-per-view. Not
That
necessarily.
was
all about
hard.
the Rumble.
That's the one that I recorded off Channel 4, brought it to school the next day.
Yeah, we spoke about this on this podcast.
Yeah, that was the
before.
Hardys and Dudley's table match. You had Mae Young's titties. It was everything.
I mean, that was
Whoa.
the highlight, obviously.
Whoa.
Got Channel 4 kicked off. Yeah.
Easy. Well, I think for Lisi, obviously everyone knows I love Shawn Michaels. So sorry guys, we're gonna have to go back to I think
Don't say
19
95. No, it's 96 he wins it, right?
1995 and 1996. So we could watch
He
either of
wins
them. and
both.
I'll
Yeah,
be
him and the
more than-
Bulldog go out at the same time, don't they? But the problem is, I think Vince on commentary, and Vince is practically gushing over him whenever he does anything.
He was a-
Oh my God, can you look at Shawn Michaels? Oh, so-
Well, remember that was the one where Pamela Anderson was gonna accompany the winner to the ring at WrestleMania. So that was a big deal back then, of course.
Of course.
That was the first Royal Rumble that like I really like. I remember the joint winning of Brett and Luger, but I think the first one that really sticks out to me from my childhood was '95 with Shawn.
JJ, we're happy to go to like 2011, 2012 if that will appease you, because you're the
I mean, I would pick
cantankerous one amongst the trio.
if you were asking me for my favorite Rumble match, I would go 2010 Royal Rumble match. But
2010.
Yeah.
Who wins that?
I'm not going to give out spoilers, Jack.
I genuinely don't know, so that's I'd be fine watching it because I wouldn't have a clue. I don't know.
It was 12 years ago. We can say it.
No, I don't want to know. I don't want to know because I don't know the surprise entries. I don't know who wins.
Oh, there's some great moments. I think
everything's a blur between.
Imagine this. I'll be telling you what's going on. You'd be like, "So, John, who's this fella?" Oh, well, that's Beth Phoenix. She's actually a woman. Be crazy.
She's actually a woman.
Are you throwing shade at Beth Phoenix? I know Beth Phoenix. She was the Glamazon.
No, he's not. He's saying that.
Oh, she's in it, right? I think did she have something with? I dipped in and out with. Did she do something with Santina Morella? Oh,
not in this Rumble.
Right.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, maybe, but that's not the moment that's remembered.
Right.
Anyway.
Okay. I'm happy to watch that. I mean, I will probably get very drunk just to get through it. But I mean, yeah.
Even better.
Is Michael Cole on commentary?
I mean, you know what? We could watch it in Spanish. If that helps.
See?
Claro.
Papa, caca. Yeah, he needs to say the word papa before if he's going to go commit to the line, surely.
Estupendo.
What?
Tiene agua.
Come on, Seb, play the game. Let's see, you're going to force us to watch Rumble 95.
What are you saying?
Are you going to force us to
Rumble
watch
95.
95 or 96? You only get one. Oh my God.
Well, actually, 90.
They both happened this week, 27 and 20.
So I think
Yes,
96, just because he went on to fight Brett the previous year, excuse me, he went on to fight Diesel, which is fine too. But I think the 96 one really set up that big split with Brett, and then the Attitude Era came right after. So that was the last of the new generation, which
Wow. Do you know, I'm looking at the Rumble entry list for 96. Yeah, you know, we talk about the number of Hall of Famers. And not this year.
I reckon
96 was a year of transition.
It was Sean's year. That's it.
I reckon more Hall of Famers in the 2010 Rumble than the 96 one.
Dory Funk Jr. was in the Rumble, aged 55.
100.
Doug Gilbert, who would also become Gilbert. Wow, yeah, just Aldo Montoya, who would then become.
Just incredible. I didn't say that I love
Harry Horowitz is in the Rumble. Good Lord, man.
I just said that I like it because Sean won. Okay, relax.
Duke the Dumpster
Dumpster Roasty.
Number 30. God, how did they draw any money in 96?
He didn't.
Well, that's Sean's champion.
Sean Michael.
Right. JJ, give it before we wrap it up. Give us a mark. You have a weird grading system, so I'll allow you to give it a mark.
Ooh.
What? As Royal Rumble matches go, I'm going to give that a 7.5 out of 10.
I expected a 4 JJs out of 5. That's okay. 7.5 out of 10 is fine. Lisa?
Lacey gives it a 10 out of 10. This is it's not my favorite just because my favorite person didn't win, so that's fine too. But I personally think this is the greatest Royal Rumble of all time. Like, this is the best Royal Rumble.
Do you think, again, you mentioned it because it's not why I wanted to win. Do you think the pacing of it is that the key to one of these matches? Like, you need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys come in, and then someone else comes in, bang, 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 and it's down to 2, and then go again, and then you're allowed a chance to regroup and.
Yeah, I think, like, for example, obviously Brock Lesnar is just, such a monster, right? But when somebody like him is in the Rumble, it's he's just waiting on the next person.
Yeah.
I don't mind when the ring up and it gets busy and you're like, what's going on? It's a little chaotic, and then then you get down to like that final four. I like that format a little bit better.
JJ, so when you're in your room, we're going to watch, do we have that type of mode? Do we have a Brock, or do we have a bit more clusters of things happening, or are you going to wait for us to find out?
There's stages. The match is kind of broken up into sort of three significant stages, I think I would say, but we'll see it in a few days' time, I'm sure.
Well, don't forget, 10 to 20 doesn't fucking matter.
Correct. I mean, just looking through. Yeah. Oh, okay. No, one of them's good.
One of
Yeah.
them.
Well, I mean, you've got to have a red herring. You've got to have a red herring in there, haven't you? Otherwise, you'll just write it all off.
Got to.
Right. Okay. Well, I'll likewise. I'll give it an A plus, just because the Nate. I don't think the Nate was as good as he was in perhaps other areas, but he was good. Bobby was a star. Bobby was just tremendous. Like, as somebody who has sometimes had a large wager here and there, you can feel the stress of a man who has got a lot of money on the line, and Bobby is selling it like he's going to miss his mortgage payment if Flair doesn't win the Rumble.
Not just the mortgage, the whole house.
And then the promo at the end, just when you have people the likes of Flair, Perfect, and you're going, we have the type of guys tell you, we told you so, but we told you so. God, they are. I'm thinking, if I was a 6-year-old Hulk Hogan fan watching that, oh, I can't wait till he, without realizing 30 years later, he's a racist piece of shit. Anyway, let's see. We're going to move on to 1996 in the week, and then 2010 also. JJ, anything you want to cover in the week, or you're fine with that?
Works for me.
Works for you.
2010 one. The 2010 one was Jan 31st, so we've got a bit of time.
So we will try to prioritize Shawn Michaels inching closer to the boyhood dream. Wow, man, that's Clinton Baptiste territory. Which, for you American fans, if you're still watching, you'll have no idea what that is. Anyway, Lissy, JJ, it's been a pleasure once again. Thank you all from Mainly Wrestling. Thank you for getting us to 343 subscribers. We're getting there slowly, and we will see you very soon. Ta-ra!
Peace.